ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸೋಣ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಅನ್ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಂಡ್ರೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಟು NSE-SME ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಈ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಶ್ರೀ ಹಿಮಾಂಶು ಶ್ರೀವತ್ಸವ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಈ ಫ್ರಮ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ನಾನು ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಈಗ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ, ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ನಾವು ಅವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಶೇರಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲ ಇತ್ತು. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಿಂದೆ ಒಂದು 90s ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓಡೋಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಓವರ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಆವಾಗ ಈ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇತ್ತು IPO ಹೋಗುವಂಥ. ಈಗ SMEಗಳು ಕೂಡ NSE-ನಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, IPO ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು, ಫಂಡ್ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಅಂಡರ್ ರೈಟರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ತುಂಬ ಈಗ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಬೇಸಿಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗಳು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ SMEಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನ ಆದರೂ ಅಪಾರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ SMEಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ತುಂಬ ಕ್ಯಾಲಿಬರ್ ಇರುವವರು, ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಇರುವವರು, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಸಾಲ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗೋದು ನಮ್ಮದು ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಕಪ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ, ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ. ನಮಗೆ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನೂ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಮಗೊಂದು ಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ನ ನಾವು IPOದಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಈ ಸ್ಕೀಮು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ನಾವು ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಕ್ವೈರ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು IPOಗೆ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗುವ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲವು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕ್ರೇಜ್ ಬಂದುಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ. IPO ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗೋದು, ಈ ಥರದ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು ರೆಡಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಮೆಂಟಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಅದು ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ರೀಸನಿಂದ ಈ ಸಲ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಬೇಗನೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ನ ನಾವು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಬಿಗ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಇದೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇ ಕರೆದು ಇನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಕಾಶ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಭಾಳ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ನೋಟಿಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ರಾಯ್ಕರ್ ಅವರು, ತಮಗೆ ಕಾಶ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಕಾಶ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ IPT ನರಸಿಂಹಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದರು, ಆದರೂ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಬಂದರು. ಮತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ OBಗಳಿಗೆ, ಕರೆಂಟ್ OBಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ವೈಟಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
I would request our President of the State, the Speaker of the Day, Mr. Himanshu Srivatsava, Senior Manager, National Stock Exchange of India.
Good afternoon all. So first of all, thanks a lot to Kasya and Shashidhar sir for giving us opportunity. I know the day when I had a meeting with him to discuss on the agenda, he told, yes, this was already there in our mind, because this is something which you'll see, nowadays each and every, if not on daily basis, once in a week you are seeing some or other news pertaining to the SME IPO. Okay, so just to give you basics about what is this platform, why it came. So when we are looking at a global market, so there are lots of countries where they are having main board. So what is main board? So today, let's say if we talk about Indian capital market, we are seeing companies, let's say Tata, Wipro, L&T, Infosys, all these companies, they are listed at exchange main board platform. Likewise, in global market also they are having main board. At the very same time, in global market, even before the concept coming to Indian capital market, they were already having a separate platform for listing of emerging corporate companies or small and medium enterprises. So that is where Government of India, they were also keen to have a separate setup for emerging corporate companies. SEBI, they were in talks with stock exchange, they were in talks with ministry for certain approval and all. And finally, in a year 2012, SEBI gave us a mandate, Security and Exchange Board of India, which is our regulatory body, they gave us a mandate to launch a separate segment for SME companies in India. So September 2012, we have launched this platform known as NSE-SME. Emerge, which means it's a platform dedicated to small and medium enterprises. Okay. So we will discuss in detail why somebody should get listed, what is the benefit and all. But if I tell you in a nutshell before, rather than going through the presentation, so normally the way I look into it, there are mainly 4 benefits or 4 reasons why somebody should think about IPO or SME IPO. If you are not aware about, let's say, IPO as a concept, you would have thought somebody, let's say somebody will tell you, okay, IPO, the first thing which will come in our mind, okay, IPO is something which is required when I am having a requirement of, let's say, a fundraising of 200, 500, 1000 CR, 10,000 CR and all. So now the benefit is, let's say a company which is raising a fund through IPO. So obviously, if there is a potential in the company, there are lots of investors who are ready to be a part of your growth journey. Okay, and typically when we are looking at SME companies, so SME companies either they have to put in money from their own pocket for the growth. If not, then they are dependent on their respective banks. Obviously, we are not saying that you can get away from the bank, but yes, how to utilize your banking channel in a best possible way. Okay, so if you are, let's say, dependent completely on your bank, so in that case, obviously, banks are also having certain limitations. Let's say bank is having some scheme like maybe CGD MSE, under which they are giving a collateral-free loan, but it is having certain limit. Beyond that, if you want to go, you will have to produce mortgage. Now, let's say because some reason, if there's a company which is having potential but they don't have a mortgage, so that is where they are growth is getting stuck. So one way or one benefit of this particular platform, if the company is having potential, it's an efficient way of fundraising. On top of that, if today you talk about lots of companies which are even doing good, they are saying that we are having one of the issue is pertaining to the employee retention. Okay, so firstly, getting a good employee in an organization, that itself is a challenge. Even after getting them, let's say if somebody obviously there are lots of opportunity in the industry, so if minor here and there opportunities coming to them, then they are leaving. Okay, so second challenge is employee retention or attracting a better employee. Now the time when you are a listed company, so obviously when you are attracting any employee, okay, and let's say because some reason those employees, let's say you want to attract any good qualified chartered accountant, somebody who's having, let's say, experience in or passed out of from premium institutes. So obviously these people when they are coming in, they are having certain expectation with regards to the salary also. So you would have seen nowadays there is a common practice where companies are offering e-shops. Let's say I'm joining any company, they are saying, okay, if you are willing to join, let's say your expectation is maybe 10 lakh rupees, I'll give you a salary of CTC of let's say 8 lakhs, 7 lakhs, and rest I'll give you e-shops. And these e-shops are giving certain lock-in. Okay, so it's a way to even retain those employees for a certain period of time. Now apart from that, let's say the company is having they are having employees, they are having funds to do the necessary production or work on their ideas. Now post that the challenge comes about the visibility. Let's say we are having a company which is based out of maybe Kenya. Okay, now how to reach a company or potential company which is, let's say, based out of North India or maybe based out of Europe or any other part of the world, and how to create a confidence there. Okay, so that is where once you are listed, it's a platform which gives you a better visibility and credibility in the ecosystem. How it does that, let me take you through that journey. So to start with, okay, okay, so let me give you a glimpse how's in terms of the numbers, how's this platform performing. As I've told you, in exchange as of now there are two segments. Okay, so we are only talking about NSE. It's not like listing is done somewhere else. Under NSE we are having two separate segments. One is known as NSE Emerge and another one is known as Exchange Main Board. Tata, Wipro and all that, what you are seeing, that is listed at our main board, and the platform we are discussing, which is a dedicated for small and medium enterprises, that's a NSE Emerge platform. So it's a separate segment in NSE, as I told you, started in 2012. Regulatory body remains same, which is a SEBI. And when we are talking about intermediary, let's say trading member, merchant banker and all, they are same. As on date, we are on pan-India level, we are having 402 companies. This is data as on yesterday. We are having 402 companies listed with a total fundraising of around 7,980 CR, and total market capitalization of these SME companies more than 1,900,000 CR. Now, as I have already told you, we are only talking about SMEs here. So if you see the average issue size, you can get a glimpse. So average issue size what we have seen at our SME platform is around 19 to 20 CR. We have even seen an IPO as low as 4-5 CR also. Okay, so when if the concept is new, then you might be surprised knowing that somebody can even come up with an IPO of 4 CR, 5 CR. Okay, so a minimum what we have seen is around 4-5 CR. Average issue size, as you have already seen, is close to 19 to 20 CR, and there is no upper cap. I have also seen an IPO which is more than 100 CR at SME itself. Okay. Now, one of the very beautiful feature of this platform is, let's say tomorrow you are saying, Himanshu, why should we consider SME? Where I think my company is having potential to go and list at main board itself. Okay, so that is where it's like the platform is designed in such a way, it's like a journey. You will start your journey at SME platform, okay, because there are certain changes which is being done, understanding the limitations of small and medium enterprises. The time when you are completing 3 years as a listed company, at our SME platform, we will give you an option to migrate from SME to the main board without any additional efforts. Already, as you can see, more than or close to 40% of the companies, as on date, there are 138 companies which have already migrated, which were listed at SME, now they are there at main board. So this is how the pan-India data. Now talking about Karnataka. So as on date, including the listing which happened yesterday, from Karnataka we are having 12 companies which are listed, out of which 10 companies are from Bangalore, one company is from Mysore, another company is near to Kudu. Okay, so altogether 12 companies are listed. Total fundraise which is being done, it is around 367 CR for these 12 companies, and one company out of these 12 companies have already migrated last year from SME platform to the main board. So next question comes, what is SME for us? The definition or guideline for small medium enterprises. Yeah. The criteria as on, just to keep apple to apple comparison, okay, we are not looking on the basis of investment in your official equipments or plant and machinery. I am saying for many service companies, it's basically official equipments, and manufacturing, it's plant and machinery. So normally, what we have seen, micro, small and medium enterprises, the categories criteria says somebody is having certain investment or certain turnover, they'll come under micro, then small, then medium. Here criteria is very simple. Any company which is having a existence of 3 years, okay, 3 years of operational history with 2 years positive cash accruals and positive net worth, they are coming under SME for us. It doesn't matter what is your turnover. I have even seen, we have seen companies with a turnover of 10 CR also, which have opened their IPO, 10 to 12 CR also. I have even seen companies with a turnover of close to 500 CR also at our SME platform. Now, if it is a private limited or listed, private limited and limited but not listed company, then on top of this NSE criteria, we will also check their post-issue paid-up capital. Okay, so post-issue paid-up capital, as per SEBI guideline, companies post-issue paid-up capital, if it is up to 10 CR on face value, we are not talking about your reserves. We don't include reserves. So if your paid-up capital is up to 10 CR, then your company can approach exchange SME platform only. If your paid-up capital is between 10 to 25 CR, then you are eligible for both. You can go ahead for SME also, you can go ahead for main board also. If your paid-up capital is more than 25 CR, then you can only go to the main board. And there is no minimum criteria. Even your paid-up capital, if it is in 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs also, there is no problem at all. So in very simple terms, any company which is having a paid-up capital less than 25 CR, they are eligible to approach exchange for SME listings. So 4 parameters for SMEs. One is 3 years operational history, 2 years positive cash accruals and positive net worth. If it is a private limited or limited company which is not listed, then their paid-up capital should not exceed 25 CR on face value. Okay. A question can come, Himanshu, you are talking about paid-up and all. What's about if the company is proprietorship or partnership? If it is a proprietorship or partnership company, simply the first eligibility criteria what you are seeing from SEBI, that is not applicable. We will only see these 3 things. Even a proprietorship or partnership which is having 3 years track record, 2 years operational history and along with net worth positive and all, they can approach a stock exchange. What is the right time for any organization to go for IPO? Typically when we are seeing any company's journey, I mean, there are companies, there are promoters, I'm just talking about theory, but you would have experienced it. Any company when they are starting their journey, initially either they are putting money from their own pocket or friends, families, or nowadays you would have also seen there are lots of companies who are approaching private equity, let's say angel investors. Okay. Now, Post that, once companies are having, let's say, some basic setup, maybe rental agreement or some place and all, that's the time we have seen companies approaching banks. Okay, they are either approaching bank, or let's say if it is a technology driven company, normally they are approaching, let's say, venture capital players, angel investors to put in money in their own company. Now, in their organization. Now, the time when these companies are having some base, and then the time when they are having some visibility on their growth, where they are saying, okay, we are talking about, let's say, today's date, I can see if some proper support coming in, how I can grow my company in, let's say, next 2 years or 3 years. That's the time when they are having a growth story to share, they can approach stock exchange. That's the reason we have kept a criteria of minimum 3 years operational history. That's the time you can approach stock exchange to, rather than only dependent on your bank, you can also leverage capital market via fundraising. Now, sir, this slide and the next slide is important for so lots of people out there who keep on thinking, okay, or keeps on thinking, if we are talking about IPO, compliances are very huge, it will be very tedious process and all. So nothing like that. These two slides just have a look, okay. To make it very simple, any company which is looking for IPO at our SME platform, one of the basic requirement is company will have to liquidate 25% stake. So if I'm a promoter of the company, I can only have maximum of 75% along holding. So 25% I will liquidate, which will go to the public. Public, which means any kind of investors. Now for this 25%, I need to have a minimum of 50 allottees. Okay, so any company when they are opening IPO, the time when we are applying, we are like allottees. So those companies at SME platform, they need to have a minimum of 50 allottees. When I'm comparing it with main board criteria says companies need to have a minimum of 1000 allottees. Here they have kept a criteria where 1000 allottees are not required, only 50 allottees are good enough. Then there is something known as DRHP. It's a draft read and hearing prospectus. You talk about any IPO, put the name of the company, mention DRHP, you can see the details. Okay, so DRHP in very simple terms, it's like a Janam Kundali of that company. Okay, it will be having all the positive, negative, each and every aspects about the company. So when DRHP is being prepared at main board, it is being submitted to exchange also plus SEBI also, and both the bodies will have to approve it. But at SME platform, as per SEBI guideline, only exchange observation is required. SEBI is not involved. On top of that, there is no requirement of IPO grading. Now here one question you may ask, okay, Himanshu, let's say when we are talking about main board, typically we are seeing companies which are known to the market, they are only coming at a main board. Let's say tomorrow, joint venture of or subsidiary of Jindal, okay, they are coming for IPO, or Tata, they are coming for IPO. Investors will upfrontly come ahead to invest in those companies. But if my company, maybe let's say Himanshu Limited, okay, if my company is going for IPO, although my company is well known, let's say in my industry, in my competitor, buyer, supplier in my segment, in my city, Kasia knows, Pina Industrial Association, everybody knows. But when I'm talking about the retail investors who are supposed to invest, they may not be knowing. So what if after doing everything, the time when I'm opening IPO, there is no participation, or required participation is not there, then my entire efforts will be on toss. How do we address that? Okay, how do you make sure if I'm proceeding for IPO, my IPO will be successful? To make sure or to address that, SEBI, they are having a clause here, okay, which is not there at main board. It says 100% underwriting is mandatory, which means if there is any company which is opening their IPO, it's a responsibility of an underwriter or merchant banker to make sure entire IPO has to be fully subscribed, if not oversubscribed. There cannot be under subscription. If they are unable to do a fully, if because of some reason full subscription is not there, these people are supposed to put in money from their own pocket, which means you need not to be worried. It's a risk on them. Okay, so that's the reason before taking a company, they are looking for a potential. Okay, so you need not to be worried. If you have onboarded the process, it's a responsibility of your motion banker to make sure your entire IPO has to be fully subscribed or oversubscribed. How do they do that? You may say, okay, when they are opening window is, let's say, currently 3 days. So how do they make sure that, okay, entire IPO will be fully subscribed? So what they are doing, even before opening IPO, they will do a complete road show. It's like a kind of a marketing, okay, where you as a promoter, because you know it's your own baby, you know in and out about the company, so you are getting to talk to different category of investors. So, and we are having a concept of market maker, whose market maker, the job of a market maker is to provide liquidity for your shares. Why liquidity is required? Let me switch to the last point. At SME platform, unlike to the main board, if you are already investing in any IPO, you would have seen at main board, typically IPO size is in a lot of, let's say, 13,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees, in that range. At SME platform, the guideline says a minimum lot size will be 1 lakh or more. It cannot be less than a lakh in terms of the amount MCD. Now in main board, once these companies are listed in secondary market, let's say today talk about Wipro, if you want to even buy 1 share of Wipro, you can buy, right? But at SME platform, the guideline says even in secondary market, the lot size will be same. So in secondary market, if you want to buy shares of SME listed company, minimum investment will be 1 lakh or more. Why they have done it? The reason is they want only quality and informed investors to invest in SME company. For example, after having, let's say, getting to meet with all of you, let's say tomorrow, I'm having a company. I have approached Shashidhar sir, sir, my company is doing good, this is the idea and all. Why don't you invest 5,000 rupees? My company is having a potential. He might, on the basis of relationship, he might invest. Okay, but let's say that time I'll say everything remains same. I'll say sir, minimum investment is 1.5 lakh. So obviously he will do some research. Okay, which kind of product Himanshu is dealing into? What is the Himanshu's background in terms of the professional experience in that industry, product line, government policy, maybe if available, what is the fundamentals of my company in terms of the books, key ratios, performance, growth. Then he will decide, okay, whether he should put in money or not. So as an organization, I am getting a quality and informed investors. And also, it's a way to protect retail investors. Okay, so it's like a win-win situation. Now moving on, you must have seen in newspapers and all, for listed companies, they are supposed to do their disclosures each and every quarter. Am I right, sir? You would have seen it in business standard and all. At SME platform, quarterly submission is not required. It is half yearly. Okay, and that you don't have to publish your results in newspaper. You will have to share the information at your website, including updating exchange also. Okay, that is more than enough. Why they have done it? So that the company who's getting listed today, they should not say or feel that after getting listed, I am getting bombarded with so many things. Okay, this compliance, that compliance. That's the reason they have tried to do a relaxation, which is possible. Now, talking about the corporate governance norms, it's remains same as a main board. I have already told you it's a very good, one of the very good feature of this platform is, once you are listed, as subject of completing 3 years, we will open a doors for your company to migrate to the main board. Migration is not compulsory. I have seen company, let's say company which I am referring, Bangalore based company, they almost migrated as soon as they were eligible. Now there is a company, let's say based out of Chennai. This company got listed way back in 2012, the time when this platform came, 2012 or 13. And this year they migrated. So the concept is we will open doors. Whensoever you feel that you are convenient or you are willing to migrate, you can take a step ahead. You don't need anybody else. Okay, for migration there are some basic criteria with regards to the number of in terms of your paid up capital, in terms of the number of shareholders and all. If you are meeting that, we will check and give a approval. Moving on. Yes, sir. This slide I will not. If somebody wants, just have a look. This is something which is post listing. Okay, as we are saying, okay, day to day our team will be sitting and working for stock exchange only, nothing like that. Okay, these are some basic things which as a listed company you will have to half yearly and annually you will have to follow. Okay, yeah. Okay, what is the benefit? Okay, so we have discussed about the criteria, platform and all. One of the key benefit of this platform, as we know, if your company is having potential, you don't have to dependent on any specific body to fund your or to put in money in your company's growth. If your company is having potential, there are lots of investors looking forward to invest in the organization. It's a business potential which we are looking at. Okay, so there can be a company which is having lots of assets. Okay, but when we are talking about IPO, generally in IPO, when we are doing this or when the valuation is being done on the basis of the potential in the company. Let's say your company's product line, growth story, your financials, promoter's background, and on that basis, if the company is having potential, there are lots of investors who are ready to come and invest in your organization, which you can use for any one of the purpose. Okay, let's say for example, the fund what you are raising, you can use this fund for, let's say, capex, buying plant, machinery, maybe partially you want to take care of your banking debt, you want to do any kind of merger, acquisition, anything and everything is okay as long as you are using this fund for the respective company under whose umbrella this fund is being raised. Higher visibility. So sir, here all the company is getting listed at SME platform. A good thing is there is no bifurcation when we are talking about trading of your shares. Okay, so trading terminal remains same. There are lakhs of terminal what we are having across India. Okay, so tomorrow if your company is having potential, your company's visibility should not get hampered, because of which we have kept a criteria where the trading of the shares will be there in a same terminal. So let's say Tata is there, which is doing, let's say, a growth of X 10%, whereas my company, because some reason I was not able to show a growth because of financial requirement of fund or maybe employment or maybe visibility, but now as a listed entity I am able to do more business, I am able to show more growth. So that is where for investors that's eye-catching. They are mainly bothered about the growth of the company. So your company is getting a much better visibility across investor domain. Now that is about the investors. When we are talking about credibility, so if there is any company, there are companies who are into the global market. Okay, when you are talking about any kind of export, import, trading with or dealing with overseas clients, you would have seen these clients, they are having something known as, for example, third party verification. Okay, they will either without telling you or with your intimation, they will do a verification. They are asking for a number of information. Here the time when you are saying I am a listed company, they are getting a comfort. Okay, I don't need to get into the details. I will just put the name of the company at exchange website. I can see some basic details, which means there are certain guidelines this company is following. So it's like getting an upper edge in compared to the competitor of yours. In fact, there are certain cash-rich company we have seen getting listed who are not bothered about the fundraising, who got onboarded because they wanted to leverage a better credibility in the market. Appropriate valuation, as I have told, if your company is having potential, then this is a platform which is there to acknowledge that. Now tomorrow if you are listed, after listing, if you are again approaching your respective bank, okay, how it will help? Now sir, there are chartered accountants who might be agreeing on this point. In one of the key ratio when bank is looking at any company is debt equity ratio. Okay, if you are leveraging your equity, it is like a balance between debt equity. Okay, it will improve your key ratio. Tomorrow if you are approaching your bank for additional fundraising, if they are even asking you mortgage, you can offer your shares as a collateral. Okay, all the banks, they are having an option, be it nationalized or private banks, to accept the shares of a listed entity in form of collateral. So basically after listing, so today your shares, if it is a private limited company, your shares are kept in some Almira, or let's say if it is dematerialized also, it is kept as a dematerialized, but it is not helping you. Post listing, your shares will become like a currency. It has started supporting the company's growth. Now, I have already told you it's more like a shares as a collateral you want. You can share, give your e-shop. So let's say in your organization, let's say there is any employee which is there for a period of let's say 5 years, 10 years, maybe from the starting of the journey. The time when you are giving them shares, it's like rather than or apart from getting a fixed salary, if company is making additional 1 rupees profit, I am also getting a benefit of it. Okay, so it's more like being a part of your growth of the company. Okay, that motivates them. Better borrowing power, obviously when you are listed company, so the way your bank looks at you, that their kind of a way to look at the company will completely change. Okay, that in turn gives you a upper edge. So on this, if I tell you in a nutshell, today in newspaper we kept on reading, okay, this ABC person is the richest person in the world, or maybe he is having the maximum net worth and all. So when we are talking about richest person, it is not because of the holding in their savings or current account. It's more like the value what they have created. As sir rightly told, Government of India, you would have seen in their speech, they also keep on talking about the creating a value. And this is a platform which will help you to create a value for you, for your company, for your investors. We can see clearly, just to share with you a couple of feedbacks. When I used to meet, now the perception is slightly changing, but initially, let's say 6 years back, when I used to meet companies, they used to ask me, Himanshu, what if I am getting listed? The major problem is, I will have to keep on reporting to somebody. Somebody who's not even part of my company, somebody will come in, he will start controlling my company. So there is a difference between private funding and IPO. When you are talking about raising funds through any kind of a PE or VC, private equity, venture capital and all, these are the people who are funding your company with n number of terms and conditions. They are going ahead and putting somebody on the board of the company. You will have to take their permission, you will have to take their consent. But here, very simple, if you have taken 10 shares of Wipro, can you go and tell Wipro how to do business? If you don't like, sell it, leave. So that's the difference. It's your company and you are the one who's going to run it. Exchange is not going to intervene in it. Or neither your investor. Somebody is not happy, they can sell it in market. Now second one, there are companies who are saying, okay, after getting listed, I will have to share my details in public domain. So very frankly, there are platforms today, just by paying 100, 200 rupees, I can get all the financial details, even before meeting the company. It's just a matter of 5 minutes. 5-10 minutes, I can have all the details. So details are pretty much available today in public domain. It is just a myth that we are hiding something. So obviously, if you want to add another additional hands for the growth of your company, you will have to see, okay, I need to be bit of transparent to help those investors to bring in or trust in my company and invest the money. They are saying, okay, what if tomorrow when I'm liquidating 25% stake, it's my company's profit which is being shared. So obviously, on another side, these are the people who have put or who are putting their hard-earned money in your company. And we will have to see one very simple thing, sir. We are liquidating 25 or 30%. Okay, still 70% remain, or let's say 75% remains with you. Tomorrow, if the value of your company after listing, okay, when we are talking, let's say market cap and all, the value of your company, the time when, let's say, a company getting listed at 40 CR valuation, the time it is moving from 40 CR to 100 CR or 400 CR. Rather than looking at what is the value that 25% or 30% shareholders have made, if we will see what is the net worth I have created. Okay, because 70% is with you. Okay, so your net worth has increased. Tomorrow, because some reason you want to do offer for sale, let's see the amount of money you are going to raise from the market. Okay, so it's more like a perception. Okay, yes, if you tell me there are some healthy activities which we need to do before or after listing, Okay. See, because of certain genuine reason, we are seeing there are lots of companies. When I'm meeting with them, they are saying, okay, Manshu, my company is having so much potential, so much profitability. We are having monopoly in industry, which is good. But the time when we are seeing their balance sheet, okay, obviously the merchant banker, apart from entire growth thing, he will also look at the balance sheet. When you are talking to the respective banker of yours, they are looking at the balance sheet. Okay, so if the balance sheet is not reflecting the potential of the company, then it might create a hurdle. Okay, when you are talking or expecting a better valuation. So that is the reason your company, if you are thinking, okay, we are having potential to grow, we should start moving or working on value creation model rather than tax saving model. It's not a concept, or it is not something that today we have done this seminar and within 1 year or 15 days down the line your company is coming with IPO. I've seen companies after meeting within 3 to 4 months in Bangalore itself, that company opened their IPO. Okay, even I've seen companies where today that company is listed, but it took almost 3.5 years for them to come and hit the market or get themselves listed. The reason is it's a journey. Today, if you are deciding, my intent is not, even I cannot sign any agreement. We don't sign any agreement with company. It's more like awareness, as sir rightly told. My intent is pretty clear. If company is there who's thinking, okay, I have a potential to grow, we are there to support them. Okay, starting from today or starting to meet with them one-to-one, explaining them, connecting them with one merchant banker, another merchant banker. I mean, you want to talk to several people, we are there to support you. Even if there is a company which is thinking, okay, there are lots of loopholes. Let's say you have spoken with ex-merchant banker. After talking to that guy, you came to look, in my company there are some loopholes which I need to address, or some issues which I need to address before opening or before thinking about my IPO. Work on that. It's like a feedback, and nobody will charge you even a single bucks until unless you are not signing agreement. The time when you sign agreement, that's the time when commercials will come in picture. Yeah, moving on. Now talking about how this platform is doing, sir. As you can see the growth, this is 23-24. From the starting of this, the journey of SME IPO in Indian capital market, we have seen a good number of companies getting listed in 2017 and 18. That's after that the market started dropping. It started dropping, and it was not only about SME platform. Similarly, you would have seen before IPO in main board also situation was more over same. But post COVID, we are seeing there is a very good growth. The 12 companies I have told you, which is listed from Karnataka, you will be, you might be surprised to know, till December 2022, we were having 2 companies listed from Karnataka. So in this calendar year itself, there are 10 more companies which came up with IPO. Okay, and this financial year itself, there are 8 companies, which means 8 companies, altogether we are having 12, but out of that 12, 8 companies came in this financial year itself. Okay, and till last year, which means in 10 years, only 2 companies were able to open, or only 2 companies were listed from Karnataka. So there is quite a good growth. Investors, there is a separate index, if you will check, you can Google it. Next. Okay, so there is a separate index, you can Google it. This index, the way you are seeing Nifty 50, right? Likewise, this index is known as Nifty SME Emerge. This index is around more than 10,000, yes, more than 10,000 points. If you will check, just before COVID, January 2020, what I can recall, it was around 1300 or 1400 levels. And today you can see it is more than 10,000. This shows the growth. And here this is the chart where you can see we are currently having companies listed from more than 22 to 23 industries, different industries. We are having companies from hospitality. We are having companies from there are lots of hospitals who are listed, manufacturing companies, IT companies, trading companies, showrooms. So only thing what we are looking at, or what investor or merchant banker is looking at, if you are having an organization, regardless of which nature of activity you are into. It's more like whether your company is having potential, whether there is something where if somebody is putting money, the company will be able to grow, whether there is a growth story. Okay, so that is where you can see companies are there from telecom, metals, consumer services, construction line, consumer durable services, FMCG segment, but major it is for capital goods, IT, healthcare, and couple of other segments. It could have been a trading companies, companies from trading segments. Going back, no, yes. So what you can expect from NSE? So apart, what we are trying to do, although once your merchant banker, which is going to play a key role in this entire process, once they are filing DRHP, okay, then actively our role will come in picture, where we are going through your DRHP, we will do a scrutiny, we will do a, let's say, provide our observations and all, and then if things are good to go, then in between there is a site visit and all, and then we will provide approval. Now before that also, okay, so in SME, especially at SME platform, this practice is not done at a main board. So at SME platform, starting from today's, let's say, discussion, if company needs to have a multiple round of meeting, maybe with board member, with their CA and all, we are going and talking to everybody. Then if company is willing to connect with any one of the merchant banker of their own, they can do that. You don't need exchange, okay, to compulsory tell you which merchant banker you should choose. It is your choice. But if you want me to suggest somebody, I am there to suggest one merchant banker, two merchant banker, arranging even a first round of meeting, second round of meeting if required. We will not be part of the discussion on commercials and all. Apart from that, we are do a complete handholding. Even after talking to the merchant banker, you feel there is a gap in terms of communication and all. We are there to bridge the gap. And till that date of your listing, you can expect a full support from NSE. Next. So NSE keeps on doing lots of activities. Currently, happy to share, we are having MOU signed with more than 13 state governments. They are basically supporting and they are trying to create awareness about this platform in their respective states in different forms. I mean, probably you will name any one of the major states, they are already having MOU with NSE, or we are having MOU with them, even though there are certain state government who they went ahead and they are trying to subsidize the process also. In the same way, we to share, we are also in talks with government of Karnataka. In fact, this particular awareness program, what we are doing, they have also supported us with regards to idea. So obviously tomorrow sir's feedback might create a major role if we are going ahead and signing any kind of a documents with government of Karnataka. So they are in pipeline. Obviously earlier, I mean last year they have already issued a letter. So excluding government of Karnataka, if I am telling, we are already having 13 state governments. In south we are having major as Tamil Nadu government, which is already having MOU. So likewise, we are working, we are trying to create awareness in different format. We keep on doing program with ICAI, ICSI, Industrial Association, central government bodies, state government organizations in different format. Yeah, moving on. So this is the initiative we are trying to do. So my submission is very simple. This platform is for the growth. It doesn't matter whether your company is today suitable for this platform or not. Our suggestion is try to explore. If your company is today, if you think my company is structured enough, okay, so we are happy to help you for your IPO. If you think my company can look at the platform in coming future, then at least try to talk to one or two merchant bankers. And if you feel that the journey is smooth, go ahead. If not, then work on, if there is a one or two feedback they are providing, work on that and then go ahead. This is the platform which will help you also, your company also, tomorrow if there is investors, your employees, in that ecosystem. If you see your overall picture, we are talking about 12 companies. Okay, there are states where we are having more than 100 companies listed. Okay, just see the kind of employment came in those states, the kind of fundraising came in those states. Okay, so this platform is helpful not only for the companies, but for the country, but for the state, but for the employees. Okay, so we are always there, my credentials are there, sir is having my number, feel free to reach out. I will request you, please share if you are having any feedback with sir. Okay, so that he is the one along with whom we can go and talk to the, again, respective bodies here, so that the maximum support can be provided for SMEs. With that, thank you very much. If there is any question, I'll be more than happy to answer. Please.
Can you talk on the cost of raising the funds?
Okay, so basically, sir, as a stock exchange, I'll tell you NSE fees. Okay, NSE fees is very minimum. Okay, it is maybe 1.5 to 2 lakh or something. Okay, during IPO, and once your company is listed on the basis of your market cap. But the major cost which is being charged, that is charged by the merchant banker. Generally, what the merchant bankers are doing, on the basis, I mean, they are having a fixed cost with regards to the documentation, okay, and which is pretty much less than what you would have heard at main road. Okay, it is in lakhs, okay, as per my knowledge. And another cost is a fundraising cost, which, let's say tomorrow if you want, I can connect you with somebody where you can get a glimpse of the cost. Because exchange, we are not charging a single bucks of it. For documentation, DRSP preparation, they are charging this fixed cost. And the variable cost what they are charging sometimes, that is depending on the issue size. So that's how the cost varies.
Can you put it in terms of, approximately in terms of percentage
No,
per crore?
approximate cost. Now 1.5 lakh you said is for NSE, but for others we should know beforehand how much it would cost.
Sir,
Take an example and tell.
Yes, so generally what I have seen, in certain cases companies have told that the total cost, okay, leave let's say fix and all fix is not that much what as per my understanding, and sometimes they are only telling you okay this is the percentage. So in certain cases the cost of the IPO was around, what people have told was around maybe 11 or 12%, okay, and in certain cases cost of the IPO was around even 5-6%
Percent of
IPO size, fundraising size.
fundraising.
Okay, so your IPO size of X, so let's say in certain cases as I told it was even around 11%, 12%, in certain cases it was 5-6%. So you can average it out, okay. So post that you can have an average.
Maybe larger the fund, the lesser is the percentage cost. That way.
It can be one reason, another reason can be a more the potential in a company. Let's say a company is there, when lots of investors are coming up, so their job will become easier. Okay, if job is easier, company is having some story which is very eye-catching, then probably a cost of fundraising might be lower. They need not to push it too much.
What are the risk factors will be involved in this?
Sir, risk factor is, okay, as I told you sir, it's more like the way you are working, okay, or you have worked till date, because once you are listed, obviously you will have to have some clarity. Let's say one of the question, what your probably merchant banker will also ask, it's not about fund, I'll give you fund, how you are going to use that fund. So you should have some clarity of let's say 2 years, 3 years where you are going to take at least your company. And risk factor is more like sir, quarterly submission is not there but half yearly it is there. Okay, so when we are looking at a bigger picture, okay, so obviously there are certain additional things which need to come in to make sure that there is a better compliance in the company. Tomorrow you would have seen lots of main board listed company where there is no promoter. Its company is surviving by their own. Okay, so it's like a more compliant company. When we are talking about compliant company, obviously there are some healthy activities which you need to understand, which you need to learn. One of the thing is you need to have a one CS, company secretary. Okay, that's mandatory. Why you need a CS? Because exchange we are gonna share one compliance calendar. That slide you would have seen. Okay, so CS they are equipped enough. It is not to burden you. It is just to make your work easier. Okay, so CS is there. We will share compliance calendar. They are the one who will keep on coordinating with us. Although you don't have to disclose to any individual, but yes, 6 monthly when it is required, then you will have to do it. So your team should not, miss those things. Okay, so otherwise, sir, it's similar.
What about the IT involved in this? Income tax? Maybe the huge income tax will be pay us.
Sir, see, the value we will have to see. You are paying income tax. I'll tell you, just give you one small, very small example. Normally here, when the valuation is being, during valuation, two major components is company's bottom line and company's P. P is price earning ratio, bottom line, which means I'm talking about PAT. Okay, obviously the reserves, the line of activity, that will play a role. Okay, but let's say talking about two major aspects, bottom line and P. Let's say my company's industry P's price earning ratio is 10. Okay, and my company's bottom line is for this financial year, let's say 23-24, my profit after tax was, for example, 4 CR. But due to some reason, I have shown 3 CR, right? So after showing, I mean, if I have reduced it by 1 CR, obviously couple of lakhs I have saved. But see the kind of hit you have taken. If your paid up was, your PAT was 4 CR, taking 10 as a multiple, your valuation would have came to 40 CR. But now, as your PAT is not 4 CR, it is 3 CR, your valuation will come to 30 CR. The gap of 10 CR is just because we have saved something there. Okay, and sir, there is a balance. I am not the right guy. You are having, let's say, your financial consultant who can tell you what is the balance. Okay, but it should not happen. I met with some organization, they told me, Manshu, I am operating very good companies, nature of activity was good, but the bottom line they have told me, Manshu, it is 0.2%. That time, as the company was good, I was talking to the merchant banker, he told Himanshu, with due respect of that company, but 0.2% they can't run their business. The kind of experience this guy is having or promoters are having, if they will close this company and do something else, they can earn more than that. So 0.2% is sometimes it is not justified. Tomorrow if IT company is telling you, sir, I am running at 0.5%, you will laugh. Why you are in IT? I mean, it's IT or what you are, I mean, it's typical trading company might make slightly more than that. Okay, so that's the reason, sir. When we are showing tax, just see, by showing tax, it's more like I am saying, okay, I am having a small, strong, much strong backbone. So your company's backbone is strong. If your valuation is increasing tomorrow after listing, I am saying, okay, from the time when you are moving, let's say 50 CR to 500 CR, just see the value you have created. Then the tax, what you have said, that may not matter. Okay, so it's a bigger picture. Value creation can be done, but yes, for that you will have to show that my baby, my company is strong enough. You can trust them.
Thank you.
Yeah, what's the approximate time frame for the company to grow to SME? If you
Sir, generally what I have seen, it takes almost close to 4 months for any company to complete their listing process. Okay, so a merchant banker might take, let's say, close to 3 months for filing your DRHP, and exchange will take approximate 1 month to 6 weeks, or approximate 1 to 1.5 months to provide you approval. So you take it, let's say 4 or 5 months is a good amount of time as subject of providing the necessary documents to complete your IPO.
thank you.
So basically this is for the growth of the company, right? Now why should I go to IPO when I have a bank with me?
Sir, bank is there, but yes, so as I told you, if you are only looking for fundraising, okay, or if you are thinking, okay, I am going for IPO only for purpose of fundraising, then IPO may not be the right solution. Because when we are talking about fundraising can be done by your bank. There are lots of cash-rich companies, as I have told. They told me, I mean, they were having more reserves or equally reserves in compared to the IPO size of those companies. Okay, so it's more like we will have to look at a bigger picture. Just to share with you one example, there are IPO which came at a main board. Okay, I will not name any. Recently, you will see 2 years, last 2 months or 1 month, there were IPO. Do you really think these people needed funds? Because of that, they came to IPO. Or rather than these companies chasing the bank, in a way, in that platform, banks are chasing these companies. Okay, so it's not only a fundraising, it's a value creation. Tomorrow, if you want to make or create a value for your company, create a visibility of your company, want to have a better ecosystem, compliance in your organization, then this platform will address the issue. So be it any IPO, there are changes, but it is IPO only. You talk about SME platform or main board, what is the concept of IPO? It's like a overall growth of the organization. So only fundraising may not, why will you go through the entire process only for fundraising?
If fundraising is so easy, then you will have a lot of defaulters also.
Fundraising is not so easy. As I told you, you are looking forward. It is not necessary that an investor will upfrontly give you that the amount of money. As there is a 100% underwriting, okay, which means in merchant bankers are also choosy with regards to the company. Okay, they are looking for a good potential company. There can be one company which is having may not be having that growth story. Okay, so probably it depends on merchant banker how they are going to look at that company. So fundraising is not, as I told you, fundraising is not that easy. Okay, if you are doing a fundraising, then fundraising can be easy. Okay, by your point. But the tough task is utilization of that fund in the object of issue you have mentioned. It's not an end of story. Listed company or in ecosystem, you would have seen companies are doing IPO, follow on public offer for sale. There are lots of debt instrument which is being raised. Okay, so it's just a starting of journey. Tomorrow, if you are not doing a genuine work, tomorrow you want to do any kind of further public offer, further follow on public offer, okay, people may not be there to invest in your company. So if you are working in your company ethically, obviously tomorrow there are cases where companies have told that when they were looking for a further amount of fundraising, they did not need, even the existing investor, they themselves responded very well. Okay, so you work on a genuine path, investors will be there. If you won't, then there are lots of companies who could not even perform. As an exchange, we are having certain guidelines, we will keep on looking at that.
What is the NSE's benefit in this?
Sir, currently I tell you very frankly, it's a mandate. Is it currently, is this a profit making? No.
No.
Okay. Because then there is a, liquidity is not there, which means I cannot, our NSE's revenue is about the liquidity. There is no liquidity. So this is not a profit making, but it's a mandate. As I told you, till last year, or 2019, we were hardly having 200 companies. Okay, market cap was pretty less. Today we are talking about a market cap of more than 1 lakh CR. Tomorrow, this 138 companies, they migrated from SME to the main board. So currently it is mandate, but if not today, if I'll see maybe 3 years down the line or 5 years down the line, once the platform will mature, the way we are seeing companies looking at this platform currently, it is pretty much possible that very soon we might be having, in terms of the number of companies listed, it can be as good as main board. Okay, so you need to work on ecosystem. Once ecosystem will grow, then eventually NSE will also make money.
I have 3 questions actually. What is the interest of investor? Is mainly for a EPS earning per share or the market value of my share?
Sir, it's mean like, if we'll look at, in a way, sir, both are the reason. Earning per share, which means, let's say if they are a shareholder, they will look at it. And second one, your market value. If your market value is not moving, then as an investors, they may not make money. Again, we need to see which kind of investors are there. If it is a long-term investors, then they might be having an appetite to have your shares for 6 months, a year down the line. Or then only they will sell. If there is somebody who is looking for intraday trade and all, then they might look out for a immediate growth. So it's a category of investor who's having your shares.
And about this chartered accountants, our existing chartered accountants, even financiers, they will agree, or we have to go to the specific.
They need to be a peer review auditor.
Sorry?
They need to have be a peer review auditor. Whether they are having that authority, if they are having, they can. If they don't have authority, as a listed company, you need to have a peer review auditor. I hope, I mean, your CA, you need to check with them whether they have that approval or, authorization or not.
And any consultants or professionals who can look at our financials and say you can go for it?
There are very lots of consultants are there. They are supporting companies before even talking to the merchant banker. If you want, I can connect you with those consultants only. There is no problem at all. There are companies who are saying, okay, before talking to the merchant banker, because merchant banker, the kind of questions they might be having, it can be better answered by somebody who's familiar with merchant banking, terms and conditions. That's the reason these people are not very comfortable directly talking to the merchant banker. Okay, so if you want to connect with a consultant, there are lots of people, lots of chartered accountants who are working as a consultant. I can connect you with them. And sir, there are different category of investors here. If you will see in Bangalore itself, January there was IPO, January 2023, and long. Okay, IPO size was around, I hope, not unable to recall, but it was around 13 CR or 15 CR. IPO was 400 times oversubscribed. And just see the category of investors. They had QIB, they had FII, they had DIA, they had NIA, retail investors. So in that way, I mean, it's not specific to one sector. The way we are seeing response in SME segment, you would have seen lots of things. The SEBI is changing. So 5 months, if we talk about till March, March or April, we had a guideline whether for migration, company need to be there at our SME platform, or they were supposed to be there at our SME platform for only 2 years. But then we changed the norm and increased from 2 years to 3 years. There was no guideline with regards to the number of investors. Now we have added the number of investors should be 1,000. So you will see the way market is or platform is growing. I mean 1 lakh CR market cap. It's a very good number to see how the future is moving. Yes, sir. You have a question.
What profit is considered okay, medium and high for this getting into IPO? Benchmark profits and turnover.
Sir, profit I will not comment, because profit I have even seen companies with a PAT of the range is there. I mean 1 CR also and less than 1 CR also. But turnover, I can tell you, turnover I have seen companies with a top line of as low as 10 CR. Less than 10 CR I have not seen as of now. And there is no upper cap. I have seen companies with 400, 500 CR also. But minimum is 10 CR what I have seen as of now.
Because normally, some of the valuation of the companies is considered number of times your turnover.
Yes. So basically, sir, normally when we are looking at, as per my understanding, probably sir, you being chartered accountant, you can throw some light on it. When venture capital firms, they are doing valuation, what I came to know that they are doing valuation on top line. Okay. When private equity is there, PE, they are normally doing at your EBITDA. Okay. And capital market is generally it is being done at the profit, PAT. Right, sir? So that is where you will see a difference in the valuation. But you will also have to see PE also, the chart which I have shown you, okay, where first level, second level, third level, then final you would have seen the main board. Okay, PE, when they are also coming, what is the exit? And exit is to either to sell to the sell that company to some overseas kind of or get themselves listed. That is where they are making money. Okay, so they are coming, they are giving the valuation because they are looking to create a better value and take exit. Here there is nothing like a exit. Okay, that's the reason as investor, retail investors and investors' money is involved, we prefer that company should be sound. What you were doing in past, that may not be very important with regards to, let's say, profit and all. But today when you have decided, you should start moving into that direction. So that is where, whatever is potential, you show it.
Sir, up to 17, from 2012 to 17, the graph was going up. Your graph you showed that.
Sir, can you go back?
That 17 it dropped down. Why did it drop down?
Sir, it is more back.
No, still back.
Yes. So if you will see, sir, here the platform was pretty new. Okay.
No, but why drop down is my
Then
question.
in this scenario, okay.
No, COVID is afterwards.
Yes. So in this scenario, market was pretty booming. Okay. Then, as I told you, capital market is also about the sentiments. Okay. Because of some reason, market sentiment was not positive, where it was slightly down. Okay. But here, that COVID impact news started coming in for China and all. Okay. That's the reason this FIIs and all that could have been an impact. Okay, where it drastically, I mean, it went down like anything. And then here it was dry. Then after 2021, around second wave and all, it started picking up. So if you see this graph, the sentiments were not that great. Even at SME platform, I have seen, I mean, the IPOs were, people were too much discounting it. They were not pretty open for any kind of, infusing fund. So it's a market, sir. It is positive, which means I'm not saying today we are on top. It is also possible it might cross maybe 20,000 very soon. It is also possible because some reason tomorrow if sentiments are negative, it might come down.
No, you did not answer why. I just want to know why. The reason why it went down.
Sir, I need
Is it because of something with NSE or
No,
government?
nothing to do
Or
with it.
see, from 2020, from after post-COVID, government also is encouraging us a lot. But why in 2017, what happened? It came down.
2017. When was the
And the
election?
drop, and the drop is very severe.
Last election was somewhere in the same time. 19th was the election, right?
19 March ಅಲ್ಲ,
March. There was some reason.
20 March. Then government started encouraging us a lot on, but why did it come down?
Sir.
In between, but now they are giving lot of support now, central government. That is the now it is booming.
Yes, yes.
ಈಗ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ 12-13 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು, we are having first awareness program here in Kasi. So now government, central government is making lot of schemes, more popularizing. Awareness is now awareness started creating. One earlier only people know they used to do it.
What is the preparation you have to make if you want to go for IPO for next year?
Sir, we need to sit and discuss about your current business profile.
We got some consultants, we have to talk to the government.
It's fine. We ourselves can discuss. You don't need, I mean, it's your call. If you want to connect with a consultant, I can connect you. If you want to directly connect with a motion maker, I can.
Basic things.
But I need to basically understand the product, financials, growth plan, then we can decide on it.
Sir, what is the mechanism to fix the share price and who will fix it?
Sir, share price is generally, before IPO, IPO size you are referring?
Yeah.
IPO size is, sir, valuation. So merchant banker is the only one who's authorized to do a valuation of the company. Very simple, if my company's valuation is 40 CR, I am diluting 25%, so my IPO size will become 10 CR. Now then there is a, how many number of shares are, and what will be the price of each share.
Yes.
That merchant banker will see, okay?
So what is the premium? How much of premium?
So those things will be seen.
What is their category? Why? How do they come at that premium level? Is it on PAT?
No, by default, sir, PAT is the one which will be playing the role. Sorry, sir.
Valuation based they will do.
So valuation is based on mainly your
You
PAT.
see the reserves also?
Obviously.
Reserves and PAT.
Yes. Reserves will be considered. Reserves, that's a factor which will give a comfort to the investors. So as I told, it is not only blindly they will see PAT and PE and do it. Okay. There are other factors which is supporting it. Okay. Where what is the reserves if you are having? Okay. How much reserves? How much, let's say, bank support you are having? Let's say in your nature of activity, working capital cycle and all. Those things will play a key role. Okay. But major, as I have told you, how the valuation is being done, that is on the basis of market PE and your bottom line.
Sir, if the investor audience, which is similar to the main board investors, like
Yes.
FIIs,
Yes. No bifurcation.
No, same.
No, same. Merchant bankers are same, but I mean, as per regulatory body, we have not done that bifurcation. But generally, the merchant bankers who are active at main board, I have not seen, let's say your SBI, CAP, ICICI and all, I have not seen active at SME platform. There is different set of merchant bankers who are more active at SME platform, who are there at SME also, they are also doing main board IPO. It can be a reason when we are talking about the fees and all that aspects, it may not make a business sense for them or what. I mean, now I have seen they started showing interest because IPO size are in, now it is even crossing 100 CR. So otherwise, in principle, there is no bifurcation. Investors, intermediary, everybody is same.
If an issue is undersubscribed, what will happen?
There is no undersubscription, sir.
Because
If there is undersubscription, there will be consequences on merchant bankers.
Merchant banker will guarantee.
So SEBI norm says 100% is mandatory.
Merchant banker will.
So merchant banker before opening IPO, let's say what the merchant banker told, okay. I mean before opening IPO, let's say your IPO size is 5 CR or 10 CR or X, okay. When they are doing road show, they make sure in bare minimum that much commitment, or 2x of commitment they are having, or let's say something. So there is a backup plan they are having. Let's say from retail investors that 3 days window, if there is no response, how to tackle that. So you need not to be worried. There is not a single IPO we got failed here because of SEBI guideline. Obviously, they have structured the platform in that way.
Can debentures be issued?
Yes.
Convertible debentures?
Yes, yes. Post listing, whatsoever combination you are seeing at main board, that can be done at SME also. Yes.
Mine is a private limited company or proprietorship or anything, we can, any day we can retire actually after 10 years. In this case, how to retire actually if we want after 10 years or 15 years?
You can take a exit, sir. You can sell your, I mean, it's like an offer for sale. Okay.
All my shares are registered.
Whatsoever shareholding you are having, let's say you are having a 50%, 60% holding in a company, okay, you want to take an exit, you can sell those shares in market and take an exit. But simple.
Market is having only 25% of your total value.
Yes.
He wants to come
That's
out.
a minimum. If he wants to do offer for sale, if he wants to exit, which means he is doing the offer for sale, okay, there are two things. You don't want to unlist your company.
I retire, company may not be there.
No. So there are already investors, right?
No, investors are there. Here investors are coming actually. In my case, as of now, if I am not running, if I want to retire, company will not be there.
Currently company may not be there.
Yes.
In capital market, let's say Narayan Murthy, he is not a owner now. So similarly, sir, somebody, if you are selling.
Yes, I'm asking what is the process?
Yes. So simple, sir, you are, practically you will do a OFS. Let's say there are 3 directors, 2 directors, everybody is looking forward to sell. Okay, then you can see some JV, joint venture or something, where somebody is ready to buy your company. Now, third situation is where you don't want to have this company only. Okay, you told me, Himanshu, my company is listed, but 10 years down the line, let's say because some reason, I don't want this entity to be there. Okay, that is where you can delist and close the company.
So 1 minute, coming back to his question is, see, he wants to exit. Now, what is given to public offer is only 25%. Minimum. Now, he is going on minimum 25%. Now, day after tomorrow, he wants to exit. What happens to the 75%?
75%, that, let's say post listing, he is having a holding of maybe 20% or 30%. There will be at least 2 directors, right? Okay, so whatsoever shares he is having, if he is willing to sell, then he will do an offer for sale.
Okay, so that 25% will become 50%.
Yes,
Okay.
so that market share will increase. So the liquidity, minimum criteria is there is no maximum criteria.
Okay.
If you will liquidate more than 50%, then you will have to see who's holding it.
Any holding period for the directors after the IPO?
Yes. For directors, there is, I hope, 1 to 3 years. There is some, there is some bifurcation. I can share with you. 3 years you cannot. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Do share your feedback with sir. He is the spokesperson for us to Government of Karnataka.
ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಸ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಸ್ಯ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮನ್ನು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕಾಸಿಯಾ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಈ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕೂಡ ಕಾಸಿಯಾ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡೋದು
ಅಲ್ಲ, ನ್ಯೂಸಲ್ಲಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ದು ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನಲಲ್ಲಿ. ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು 3-4 ಡೇಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. 80 ಏನೋ ಇತ್ತು, ಒಂದು 250ವರೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 5000 ಇಯರ್ ಎಂಡಿಗೆ ಅಚೀವ್ ಆದರೆ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಬಿ ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕಾಸಿಯಾ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Request our Vice President to give the vote on thanks.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ಶ್ರೀ ಹಿಮಾಂಶು ಶ್ರೀವಾತ್ಸವ, ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಸಿಯಾ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಸಭೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿರುವ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಾದ ರಾಯ್ಕರ್ ಸರ್ ಮತ್ತು ನರಸಿಂಹಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಬಂದಿರೋ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೇಳಿ ಬಂದಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆ ವಹಿಸಿ ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ಶಶಿಧರ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ವಂದನೆಗಳು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.